million people we know have fled Ukraine in recent weeks, and directing our attention yet again to the plight of a refugee. It's an unimaginable hardship with so much need attached. And while we're somewhat limited in how we can help those families across the world, there's a lot we can do for refugees closer to home. Katie Graham with the group Serve Refugees joins me in studio. And we're seeing this topic play out in the news. We see it everywhere. And if you could narrow in, maybe could you tell us about refugees and what do you want people to understand better about them?
I think one of the main things we want to know about refugees is why have they fled? And it's because of no choice of their own. So one of the most important things to know about a refugee is that they have no desire to be a refugee. They're fleeing, as we see in Ukraine, because they need to be safe. Many refugees flee because they're being persecuted. There's serious danger involved or serious injury or problems that can occur for them if they remain in their homes. And so they flee out of no choice of their own. To be a displaced person, as we're seeing happen, is so unsettling. And there's so much resilience needed and so much hard work goes into those who become refugees and then who are resettled in new countries and new cities.
Yeah, and it might be surprising to a lot of people that we have a lot of refugees here. I know that our city just received, I think, is it 1,000 refugees from Afghanistan?
Yes.
Yeah, so there is a lot of need right here. And I love your organization because you have these 3 ways that people can help. Because a lot of times I think people are like, I want to help, I don't know what to do.
Right.
So your first one is that we can serve.
Right. So at the Utah Refugee Connection, we talk about helping people to serve, to learn about refugees, and to give to refugees. And currently, right now, we do have one way to serve refugees that help refugees here locally in Salt Lake and also in Ukraine. So we've partnered with an incredible company called Solite Design and with another international company called Lifting Hands International. Right now, if individuals want to do something to help those who are fleeing Ukraine, you can make a donation, and with that donation, we'll be able to provide an emergency light for refugees here in Salt Lake and then send a light that's solar powered, easy to move, easy to take with you, and can charge a phone. And those are going to families in Ukraine.
Yeah, so you brought one of the lights right here. And what's so amazing about these is so they go flat, so they can send them flat, and then they charge solar, and they can use them in emergencies if they're here in Salt Lake or if they're going to Poland. And how amazing is that? And they can charge a cell phone, which is amazing for those people.
Exactly. So the lights that stay here in Salt Lake are these simple lights, and they'll be helpful for emergency preparedness for refugee families here. Or surprisingly, refugee families here really make do with very little. And so something like this is useful for someone trying to do homework in the evenings or to read. It's a renewable source of energy, and so they're not having to use electricity. But then in Ukraine, or those who are fleeing Ukraine, will receive a light that can charge a phone battery, something
Okay, so
helpful.
we need to learn about these refugees, learn about why they're here. We can serve, and then the last one is give. We can give this way. I'm assuming you always accept donations. What are some things that are really in need?
Yes, and we would love to direct anyone to any of our social media feeds. You can find us at Serve Refugees, and there are always ways to learn about serve and give to refugees there. Some of our most common needs are cleaning kits and hygiene kits, and specifically what is needed for those kits are listed on our social media feeds. As individuals who are refugees are working to become self-sufficient, we try to support that work. We're not in the business of, we're really in the business of helping others become independent and self-sufficient and to be able to give back here to the community that they live in. So you check our social media feed for ways to give.
Well, thank you. Thank you for making it specific for us so that we know how to give in the right way.
For sure.
All right. Thanks so much, Katie.
Yeah, my pleasure.